The Mont Ventoux is a very scary mountain, and there's a lot of mystique attached to it.
Il y a 33 ans jour pour jour, un coureur est mort sur la route du Mont Chauve.
It's not just the fact that Tom Simpson died there.
Il est tout à fait normal qu'Eddy Merckx lui-même ait des difficultés.
It's not just the fact that Eddie Merckx was blown away there in one of his Tour de France's. But every rider knows the legends that this mountain has created.
To approach the line now, Pantani grits his teeth and accelerates and over the line.
The Giant of Provence, as it's called, has so many stories to be told.
He's the tallest man in the race, and tall men that don't usually climb well.
Grinta means grit, never give up.
He's using all of his body, all of his power, the last little bit of energy he's got.
This is a moment in the race. Everybody's suffering.
Now he's gone and hit Mont Ventoux, one of the most feared climbs in any bike race.
But the one have more Grinta, keep going, he's gonna win.
You know, we talk about the champions, we focus on the champions, but not everyone can win the Tour de France. There's a handful of riders who can win the sprints, a handful that can win the climbs, and there's a handful that can win the overall. And if you're not one of those guys, then you're a worker. You block the wind for your leader, you help them through the climbs, you lead them into the sprints. You are the caretaker of the leader, the domestique.
Action.
Andiamo. Okay, I'm ready for my story.
Stavo bene ma non stavo bene, quello che si dice mica quello che si vede. Adesso che non parlo più con mio fratello succede, qui la storia si ripete, quale gioia, quale fede. Stavo bene ma non stavo bene.
The best stories from the Tour are not the stories of a great champion, or it's not a story of the greatest climber in the world, winning 5 tours in a row. It's this underdog story.
Here we are. This is the line where start the Mont Ventoux. From here, up there, 22 km to the top. Buongiorno. The day for me was a dream, to be the first at the top, at the biggest and most important climb of the Tour de France, the Mont Ventoux. This one is my first bike. I started racing the bike because the oil crisis in Europe. The government decided to stop the cars on the weekend. Everybody started running, rollers, or ride a bike. And my dad is already loved bicycle. And that was a good moment to buy a road bike. And then I said, Dad, I want a bike for me too. I want to ride with you. And he said, we see. They built a bike for me. He found a frame in the garbage. He repainted completely. Everything put together, and this is your bike. I started riding the bike with my dad and his friends, and I started to love the speed and the bikes more and more. I'm starting to be too fast for him. I was 77. I was for the first time in a real team. This is the Velodrome San Lorenzo. I was 14 when I raced for the first time in this track. And the finish line was around here. Remember that. have a picture. Cross the finish line in this position. When I was 14 years old, I was the double size any other riders. The other kid was like this compared to me.
Bike racing in Europe in the 70s was a blue-collar sport. So Eros grew up in that era when it was something everyone just sort of tried out. And it was really only the hardest ones who found their way into the sport.
I remember I ride my bike from home, 20 miles from here. So I do a long loop, crossing 4 different villages. Sometimes you ride a bike, sometimes you play soccer, sometimes take the fruit from the tree through the window of the church, and then escape. To 79, I divide my race by the road race and the track race on the velodrome.
Generally, in cycling of that era, you would give everything you had to the sport. You had to love it, but you also had to give your whole life to it.
I need to decide to become like a mechanic engineer. For opportunity, a very nice job. I have a proposal from the coach of the road race to be part of the national team for the World Champion in Mexico City. I spoke with my dad. I wanted to go to Mexico. I need to leave school. My dad's dream was to be a racer. Say, I'll give you the support until you will be 21. But then, at the day when you be 21, you find a serious jobs because cycling doesn't give you any money, any opportunity. I said, okay. Mexico City, we finished 5th. Not the best results, but I remember that year was super strong. So, 1984, the Olympics.
Italy.
I remember it was a very tough year, a lot of training. The last month, there were 3 training a day. It was crazy. The training was so hard, so tough. But then, on 5th August, we won the gold. My birthday is August 6th. I was 21 the day after of the gold. So I said, Dad, I can't keep going. And the celebration, when I come back from LA, in front of the church of my town in Xavier, with my dad, my sister, and my mom. So in these 3 years after the Olympics, I did a 3 World Championship. In Montello, Italy, we get the bronze. Colorado Springs, we get the silver. And a gold medal in the village.
Verliert pro 25 Kilometer.
I think this was the biggest event. My dad was there.
Nach Österreich eingebüßt. Und da jetzt die Italiener zu dritt im Ziel. 1:57:42. Und das ist der Sieg. 1:57:42.
Probably a big moment for him. For me, it was a great satisfaction to say thank you, Dad, to do this for me 15 years ago. They built this bike and let me go ahead and follow my dream. So we arrived 88, ready for the second gold medal at the Olympic in Seoul. We traveled from Milan to Zurich. We saw our bike down the tarmac. They said, hey, our bike is not the airplane. What's happened? The bike didn't arrive until 2 days before the race. For 5 days, we stayed around the villa, we did nothing, no training.
Well, here's the Italian team and one survivor from the gold medal side from Los Angeles in 1984, and that's Eros Poli, a seasoned campaigner, and will be leading this charge here for the Italians. They are the current world champions.
We tried to do the best, but it was impossible because we lost so much time without training.
This is unbelievable. Let's just see if they can do it now. The Germans, will this be gold to the East German side? The East Germans have won their first ever gold medal in this event.
family sacrificed so much. It was a disaster. I'm not sure to keep going ride a bike. I decided to stop. To serve my contract, I raced for 1 month in Australia. I won a couple of stages. I got some money and decided to stay another couple of months around Brisbane, Sydney, back from Melbourne to meet my friend.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be...
My friend produces coffee. So with the Vespa, sometimes deliver coffee to the restaurant, just to pass the time. One night with my friend, we stayed in a bar for a drink.
These two gentlemen walked in and I said, he must be a basketball player.
And met Michel.
My friend gave him my phone number. He called in the morning, he said, I'll pick you up at 5 o'clock, and hung up. Eros is a romantic. I just felt comfortable in his company, and he was leaving the next morning and I just thought, okay, it's really, really nice. But then he called me from payphones from every major airport until he got home.
Back home, I invited Michel to come for in Italy for Christmas holiday.
He convinced me to come to Italy. What was initially a 6-month trial is now 36 years. So it was destiny. What can I say? When Eros walks, he looks very clumsy.
Wow.
You put him on a bike and it's sort of like he melts in with the bike. It's a transformation. He becomes one with the bike. And when Eros was thinking about giving up cycling, he was lost because the bike has always been part of his life. He'd lost his belief in himself.
Michel told me, hey, Eros, I know there is the International Bike Expo in Milan at the end of October. Maybe we can find something there.
And he said, oh, yeah, but who would pick me up? Because, you know, after the Olympics, it all went bad and I'm too old.
Maybe a new job in the cycling ambassador or something like that.
Try, just try, go, see. You know, worst case scenario, you come home and you give up cycling. So he went.
I visited Pinarello, Conago, Bianchi. I met a lot of friends. But on the way back to the parking lot, I met Luciano Rui, a coach on MG from Treviso. And I said, hey, I want to try again. He said, okay, Eros.
They then summoned him to the Hotel Cadillac.
Every day, long ride with a lot of climbing. I started losing weight again, be focused.
90, 34 anni fa, 33 years ago, tanti anni fa.
Having teammates who welcomed him and trusted him, that was a new beginning.
Here, I was reborn as an athlete, a road racer, no anymore team time trial rider. I'm back again for ride a bike with a good motivation.
He then had 1 year as an amateur and then he turned professional.
First time that I meet Eros was when he joined the team. We know his past, so it was an honor to have Eros in our team.
I become the domestique. I remember my coach when I was a kid, when I started riding the bike, he told me, hey, you are a very heavy rider, so rule number 1 for you in the future, if you want to win, go ahead, attack from the beginning. Elliot teach me you must anticipate all the mountain. Attacking the flat, defending the mountain, and then maybe eventually win the sprint.
So Eros was a domestique, but he's a particular kind of domestique. He's 6'4", 190 pounds. He's a rolleur, a big, strong rider who can just roll a hard pace, miles and miles and miles and miles and hours and hours and hours. His original job, of course, was to work for Mario Cipollini. Mercatoni's designated sprinter, one of the best sprinters of his generation.
Cipollini clear of the wall now and gets the win. He makes it look so easy.
So my job is stay all the time with him, take care of him, protect from the wind at the right moment, launch Cipollini to the finish. But then here, Cipollini at the first stage of the Vuelta have a big crash in the sprint.
Cipollini. En Cipollini wil langs, maar voorgaat verschrikkelijk. En Buffy wint dan.
So he lost completely the season. Then Tour de France.
So for the first 8 stages, Miguel Indurain watched and waited.
They hear of the big attack.
So that year in 1994, Eros's role kind of became like, if you can make something happen, feel free to make something happen. He was sort of set free.
All the attack I did was solo. They catch me at the sprint, they catch me at the top. Every single attack I did, they catch me at the end. And there was good training for the final attack at the Mont Ventoux.
Hello, everyone. I'm Adrian Karsten, welcoming you to ESPN's exclusive coverage of the 1994 Tour de France presented by Michelin. Here in the Tour Village this morning, there's an old French fable going around, a tale that hasn't been...
Tour de France is the largest, most well-known, most important bike race in the world, and it's been that way for a long time. It started out in 1903, 21 stages, just day after day after day after day. If you think about someone trying to play an NBA championship game 21 days in a row, that's the intensity people bring. The dramas that happen and sometimes the tragic incidents, all of the emotions that play into it. Winning a single stage of the Tour de France is not only career-making, but life-changing.
This morning, start of stage 15. We're expecting our 3rd consecutive 100-degree day. Same kind of conditions that knocked another 18 from the field yesterday.
The day before was the longest stage. I remember I was dropping from the beginning, solo.
They're trying to break up this race now as they head down.
And far away, saw the group and back. And I thought, okay, I'll survive today too. Tomorrow is another day. The finish, I was completely exhausted. At the hotel, there was a very nice swimming pool. I jumped straight to swimming with my kit on. And then there was a crazy long night. Around 1 a.m., Roberto Baggio missed the penalty and Italy lost.
He's missed it! And Brazil win the World Cup!
My teammate take the mattress and they slept outside because in the room there's no air conditioning. And then so noisy by the cricket, impossible to sleep. So going for breakfast, push the button, the lift doesn't work. So I need to descend by the stairs, and after 2 floors, my legs start crying for the pain. And for the moment, start a song in my mind from James Brown, I Feel Good. I feel good.
Start of stage 15. A lot of talk around the starting line this morning that of the 140-odd riders left, maybe 100 of them are literally on the edge and can drop at any time.
Doesn't matter if I have pain, but I feel good.
Lance Armstrong, really the last American hope, instead of going up the hill, decided to fly back home last night.
Put on my shoes, glasses, I cut my hat, and then finally I was ready to start.
137 miles from the seaside city of Montpellier to Carpentras. 2 sprints to get him going, and then someone mentioned there might be a mountain in or something.
So we start full gas. Every day Tour de France is like that. But after that, the group decided to slow down because all the attack was neutralized by the big team.
You can see it's still the Banesto squad doing all the work at the front, setting a gentle pace to make sure that nobody attacks.
So I said, okay, nice. It's a good day for recovery.
The whole story starts because he got angry.
It kind of happened by accident. The peloton was coming up on a feed zone, so kind of just etiquette that you don't attack through the feed zone.
By the moment we approached, Cassani attacked in the front at the beginning. I said, what? Why? Everybody in the water, it's super hot, it's crazy.
When Eros realized this, He got mad. So he just sort of rode up through the pack and found himself at the front and kept going.
As the riders come through the finishing town of Carpentras with a big circuit still to come, it's been a breakaway here by the tallest man in the race, Eros Poli.
It was a little bit incredulous to watch.
It was in my terrain, a little bit tailwind. I'm a ruler, so it was perfect for me.
The day of Mont Ventoux, I was in the second car. When we drive through the peloton, they told us, ask Eros what he's doing and say that we will meet again on the Mont Ventoux.
Poli's attack had come at 60 kilometres today and no resistance at all from the big bunch. They thought if he wants to fry out there today, then he's welcome to it.
And they say, it's Eros Poli. He's the heavy guy. We catch him at the end, no problem.
No pedals turned in anger at all. Very, very slow indeed.
I started to realize I can build enough gap to climb the Mont Ventoux first.
A non-climber can lose something like between 20 and 30 minutes.
It's this idea that if I gain more time, maybe I can win the stage.
The climb of Mont Ventoux, I feel sure, will be the stumbling block for this big man.
From here start the real Mont Ventoux.
This is a mountain that breaks people.
This for me was the beginning of the big suffering. Suffering a lot. For me, the mountain is just mean suffering.
It's about 22 kilometers long, gains about 5,000 feet in elevation. Ventoux just goes and goes and goes. You're on this sort of like moonscape. It's just bare rock. It's windswept. The winds have been recorded up to 200 miles an hour there. When you're surrounded by crowds of people, there's a lot of partying that goes on. Just an avalanche of rabid fans. So the odds of Eros pulling this off are 0. No one would bet on it.
He's now leading by 20 minutes over the field. He's making his run at the mountain.
When Eros attack, frankly speaking, we don't believe he can win this stage. It's not because we don't trust in Eros, but we know how cycling is. It's impossible to make it 170 kilometers alone.
The kind of rider that he is, this Eros Poli, he's going to need more than 20 minutes, I think, if he wants to hope to try and take the stage victory today. He's a fantastic...
In the big mountains, the rollers, the sprinters, they get dropped and they form this group called the gruppetto, or sometimes they call it the bus. And Eros was known for being able to calculate just how fast that group needed to go to stay in the race.
It may well be that his 20 minutes will get wiped away as soon as they start going uphill.
I remember watching and I remember he's calculating. He's calculating.
Not too many people believe that he can win, but he believes in it.
And he's like, okay, if I go as hard as I can, I'm going to need 22, 23 minutes to still be ahead at the top of Ventoux.
So I did 100K full gas, like a time trial. And then when I arrived at the beginning of Mont Ventoux, I said, okay, now try to survive.
Eros Poli has now begun the climb of Mont Ventoux.
He started the climb 24 minutes from the group.
Eros gets to the base of Ventoux, and he starts climbing. Indurain's coming, Pantani's coming, Varanka's coming. They're going to be chasing this guy down like a pack of wolves.
The first part was easy, but once I arrived at the switchback, for the first time, I saw my counter become single number. Very low cadence.
The latest time check we've got on Poli, by the way, is 23 minutes and 7 seconds, so the gap is now beginning to come down.
He is clawing his way up the mountain. His trademark cap, he cuts the top off his cycling caps. That's off, and it's around the handlebar of his bike, and he's sweating, and he's just creeping through this crowd.
We've got Pantani going off. He goes early all the time, and this is the sort of move that could give him the stage.
Around halfway up, the motor arrived, hey, Pantani attacked behind. Just one rider can catch me, it's Pantani.
This group has pulled back 9 minutes off the big lead of Poli since this climb began. And here we are, we're not too far away from the summit now. The big man, you can see the difference in the styles. This man is climbing so slowly, and the rider who is chasing him, Pantani, is flying up the hill.
The fight began. We started to lose more time.
They kept flashing back to Marco Pantani, and Marco was just riding like the wind.
Eros asked us many times what happened back of him, and we say nothing happened. They are all together and they go slowly. Of course, it was a lie.
Just past the memorial of Tom Simpson, I heard the helicopter arrive behind me.
Riders know this. You can look up, you can see the helicopter, you can know where the action is.
In this case, probably falling Pantani. And I said, okay, it's done, it's coming, it's coming.
Eros Poli is still fighting with himself to try and get to the top of the Mont Ventoux.
Don't think about what happened back. You must only think how many kilometers from the top.
He's using all of his body, all of his power, the last little bit of energy he's got to get over the top.
He is just struggling up this climb. Just becomes this fascinating moment where it's all about grit and what it takes just to keep going.
Over the years, I've seen Eros race, I've seen him in difficulty. He doesn't give up until he physically can't.
You almost want to push this man to help him to get over the top of the climb.
He probably gets that strength or that persistence and that want to win from his father.
Well, this is really what cycling is all about. It's courage, it's fighting, getting the best out of yourself, even when you think that you're going to get beat.
And now I'm getting goosebumps.
It's an Italian for the first time ever in the history of the Tour, who topped Mont Ventoux, Eros Poli. 4 minutes 31 seconds behind him has gone Marco Pantani.
Covered my zip, put on my hat, back my glasses, and start descending like a crazy. I think close to 90 km an hour, taking major risk. I remember the car come next to me, say, hey, take it easy, we have 5 minutes, doesn't matter. I feel good, I want to keep going.
I didn't watch that part.
Now this is my moment.
È bastato del tempo. Stavo bene ma non stavo bene. Stavo bene ma non stavo bene. Stavo bene ma non stavo bene.
Well, Pantani being told here, he's not really making any impression at all. Eros Poli will go on to win the stage. We spoke to Eros a couple of days ago. He had a long breakaway which failed on the road to Futuroscope almost 2 weeks ago. And he said, I'm going to do it again. But indeed, now he's going to get a stage win, and that for him will be a first.
Before getting to the finish, I have the camera just here. And I start to realize that it's done.
And I think the emotion is really starting to be a little bit too much. He realizes he's going to get the second victory in his whole career as a professional.
Yeah.
I start to enjoy the moment with think of my family. I start to be emotional and I start crying. Like, oh, no problem.
The last kilometer for us, we started to scream inside the car, and we know that this stage will be all time in the history of the Tour de France.
Our eldest daughter, Amy, at the time she was nearly 3. She was standing in front of the television.
I remember watching and getting angry at the journalist for making him cry.
And the tears are beginning because he never dreamt of this, can now prepare himself for the greatest moment of his professional cycling career.
I was yelling at the TV, stop making my daddy cry, you're making my daddy cry. And yeah, that's one of my first memories of Dad.
This is the man that everybody will throw their hats in the air for. Eros Poli has done an incredible ride today, and I'm fairly sure this morning he would not have believed that he would be a stage winner in this year's Tour de France.
It just goes down as one of the great exploits in cycling history, in Tour de France history.
Eros Poli salutes the crowd, he takes the bell. This is incredible.
The way he won against one of the best Tour de France champions ever, against one of the best climbers ever, I would place it in the pantheon of great sporting achievements.
On va le féliciter, il le mérite. Eros Poli, vainqueur de l'étape du jour.
When I had my press conference, they said, hey, so what do you think about Mont Ventoux stage? I'm happy to be the winner on the stage of Tour de France. No, you don't understand, I say. You want the Mont Ventoux stage. Okay, it's a stage. No, it's the Mont Ventoux stage. And they invited me to celebrate the Mont Ventoux. Crazy emotion because with Eddie Merckx, Bernard Thévenet, Bernard Hinault, and then me. Yeah. At the end, I won in my career Olympics, World Champions in the Mont Ventoux stage of Tour de France. So it's not bad for a domestique.
The day he announced his retirement, I remember a journalist asking him, what are you going to do now that you're not working? And Eros looked at him and just said, up to now, I've never worked a day in my life. There's not very many people that can say that. With Ngamba, it's allowed him to continue with his first love. Not only riding, but he likes to see the look on people's face when they achieve their own goals. And it comes from his heart. He always rode as a domestique. It's about your ride. It's about your memory. Today's your podium.
I was still ride my bike for a passion, to stay healthy, but also to share my experience. Many times I'm telling my story of that crazy day in front of a glass of wine with clients, friends, and then we ride together.
When we look back on that stage now, it's easier to see ourselves than it is when we see Eddie Merckx win a stage or Tadej Pogačar win a stage. We have very few moments of glory, but we have a lot of opportunities to show grit. And what Eros did is a reminder that we can do that.
It's a moment in the race, everybody's suffering, but the one have more Grinta, or keep going, he's gonna win. When you're riding up the hill, not the beginning, sometimes the beginning, a hard day, when people in the moment they're suffering, and they started, Grinta, andiamo, never give up.
Yeah.
Grinta, Grinta.
Grinta. Which means, you know, grit your teeth, get up on those pedals and just push.
Siamo fatti di carattere, mi girano le palle quando vedo tutti i soldi spesi. Ma magari navigassi nell'oro, una casa a 4 piani coi penali di marmo. E dopo mi risveglio nel vuoto, sui pancali di lana con le mie mani nel fango, la voglia del palco. Tu mi dici progresso, ne sei proprio sicuro. A me sembra l'inferno, quale botta di culo. Loro fanno tendenza, io che tendo al digiuno. Voi di bella presenza, io che al bello rifiuto. E sai mi sento distante, non mi sento diverso. È bastato un istante, è bastato del tempo. Stavo bene ma non stavo bene. 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 Stavo bene ma non te l'ho detto. Ed adesso maledico quel momento dove tutto mi sembrava facile, come a dire faccio presto, a confondere l'amore con l'affetto, come a dirsi buonanotte quando infine non dormiamo, come chiedermi le coccole anche quando ci schifiamo, che finisce non risolvi.